Hello, today we're looking at compound interest again, and we're going to be using the ClassPad to solve some problems. Now, to start things off, I want to look at a question that we completed the other day. So Grace invests $5,000 in her bank account at a compound interest rate of 3% per annum, compounded monthly for 10 years. How much will Grace have in her bank account after 10 years? So we've got our A, P, R, N, and T, and we want to use all this information and somehow put it on the ClassPad. Now, the first thing you can do, and probably the most simple thing to start with, is to type it on your ClassPad manually. And so we can do that by just typing in 5,000 times bracket 1 plus. Now, if I want to do a fraction, you can either go keyboard and press the fraction button here, or if you remember the shortcut, you can go shift divide. Want to put in my rate 0.03 at the bottom here. I want to put in the compounding, which was monthly, so 12. Make sure you move to the right, so you can just press the arrow key here to move right. Close bracket to the power of, open bracket, and it's going to be n times t. So it's going to be 12 times 10. So if we type that all in, we'll get our answer of 6,746.77. So we can easily get the answer using that method there. Now, this is probably one of the fastest ways to do it, but I wanted to show you a tool called the compound interest tool on the calculator. And although it's a little bit slower to use to start with, it can be really powerful for solving problems later on. So if I go to the menu here, and I'm on the second page. Now, if you're not on the second page, all you need to do is just swipe right over here and go to financial. Now, I'm already here, but you're probably not. So just go to edit, clear all, and press OK, and it will take you back to this menu. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff you can do here with finances, but because we're talking about compound interest, let's go to compound interest. Now, you might be overwhelmed with all the choices and options you have here, so I've written some little descriptions here. N is the number of periods. I% is the annual percentage rate. PV is your initial investment, like your principal. PMT is the repayment amount. If you want to work out repayments, you can also use your ClassPad for this. FV is the future value. It's the money that you're hoping to get in the end. P/Y is the number of payments per year. And C/Y is the number of compounding periods per year. Now, because we're doing quite a simple question, we're just going to fill in some values to make it easier to work out. So first of all, there's going to be no payments at all. So we're just going to write 0. We're not doing any payments at the moment. We're just trying to work out a future value. The next thing we want to do is our rate. Now, our rate is 3% per year. So we're just going to type that exactly like that. No decimals, just type in 3%. Now, this is the tricky bit. This is where people get confused. $5,000 is our principal. Now, for the ClassPad, we want to say that we're giving the money into a bank. So we have to use a negative or a minus in front of our 5,000. Now, that might seem a bit strange at first, but it'll make sense later. But this minus just tells the ClassPad, I am giving you $5,000, and it will give us a positive answer later on in the future value. The next thing, it was compounded monthly, so we're going to change the compoundings per year to be 12. Pretty straightforward. Now, I know we're not doing any payments at the moment, but just so the ClassPad doesn't have a freak out, we're just going to make this the same here. We're going to make these two the same until I tell you, okay? Just keep these two the same unless I tell you otherwise. And finally, number of periods per year. Now, this might seem a bit confusing, but we're talking about months. How many months are there in 10 years? Now, you can work that in your head. That's 120 months. But let's just say you couldn't. What you can do is you can just go, well, there's 12 months in a year and there's 10 years. Can you just tell me what it is? And it'll automatically tell you what the answer is. So it's pretty handy. Now, you'll notice we've filled in everything apart from one value. So let's just quickly recap. I want to do this problem for 120 months at 3%. I'm giving you $5,000. There's no payments. I don't know what the future value is going to be. Payments per year is 12 just because we're not doing anything. We want it to match this. And it's compounded 12 times per year. If this is all looking the same, all you need to do is just click on FV and it'll tell us $6,746.77. That's the exact same answer we had before. If we go back to main, 6746.77, and if we come back to financial here, 6746.77. So yeah, we got the same answer. Now, obviously, that took a little longer, but this tool is really powerful because we can also use it to go backwards to find missing values, which we might do another day. Alrighty, I've got a fresh problem for you to try here, so feel free to maybe pause the video and see if you can work this one out. But just before we do that, if you just come to the top here and go edit and just go clear page, that means I want to stay here but just make everything fresh. Everything will go back to normal. So you've got a blank slate here. If you're wanting to try to see if you can take this question on the right and get an answer for it, feel free to give it a go and we'll see how you go. Okie dokie, I'm going to read through the question and fill in the values as they pop up. So first of all, Travis invests $14,000. So that's going to be in this section here, our initial investment. So I have to use a minus, okay, because I'm giving the bank $14,000. The next thing, the compound interest rate is 6% per year. So I'm going to type 6. The next thing, it was compounded quarterly. So that means the compounding is going to be 4 times per year. Now remember, just to make things nice and simple, we're going to make our payments per year the exact same thing. And he's going to do this for 8 years. Now we need to come up to the top. Well, how many quarters are in 8 years? If you're struggling, well, there's 8 years times 4 quarters. And you can just press EXE. It'll tell you what it is, 32. Now, the payment, this spot here, we're not making any repayments, okay? We're keeping things nice and simple for today. So if I go to FV, we will get $22,544.54. This is how much money Travis should have if all these things are correct. And I just wanted to double check I did it correctly. So I went back to the main section of the ClassPad. I typed this in, 22544.54 and 22544.54. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions or queries at all, please let me know down below. Have an awesome day.